Now, God is going to help you out irrespective of your circumstances, irrespective of your situation. No matter what kind of a problem you are stuck in, God does not care. He does not care. He's just going to help you out. And we are going to learn this thing. We are going to connect this thing from something that we are learning and reading in the book of Mark. If you turn your scripture to the book of Mark, chapter 11, verse 12 onwards, we read about the incident when Jesus was going to Bethany. And on the way he was hungry. He saw a fig tree at a distance. He saw there were leaves in it, but there was no fruit. There were no figs in it because it was not the season for figs. Verse 13 is so clearly mentioning because it was not the season for figs. Since Jesus was hungry and he did not find any figs in it, he cursed the tree and he said, "May no one ever eat fruits from you ever again." And if you turn your scripture to verse 20, Peter remembered this thing. On their way back, he saw the fig tree had withered. He said to Jesus, "Look, the tree that you cursed has withered." And if you go further, what we are learning from this is what Jesus is teaching us about faith. He says, if you say to the mountain, "Go throw yourself into the sea," and you do not doubt it, it will happen. So he was basically talking about faith. But I want to talk about the fig tree over here. What we read in verse 13, that it was not the season for figs. And even then Jesus went further. He was hungry. He wanted to eat the fruit. He wanted to eat something. But he did not find any fruit over there because it was not the season for figs. Do you guys think that Jesus did not know that it was not the season for figs? Do you think he didn't have the knowledge that it is not the season for this particular fruit? When he went closer to that tree, he found the leaves, but he did not find the fruit. Not that the tree was dry. It had leaves on it, but it did not have the fruit. Do you think he did not give a thought, or he did not pause or think about it, that why isn't there any fruit in it? Because it was not the season for the figs. Jesus knew about it, that it was not the season for figs. But he did not see left or right. He just immediately cursed the tree. "May no one ever eat fruit from you ever again." And the tree withered. God did not see anything. He did not pay attention to anything. He did not even pay attention to the fact that his disciples were standing right next to him or behind him or wherever they were. And they were watching it. They were listening to it. They knew, of course they must be knowing about it, that it is not the season for the figs. He did not pay attention to anything. He just cursed the tree. Whether he had the knowledge of it or he did not have the knowledge of it, he just cursed the tree. He did not pay attention to anything. He did that what he wanted to do. Now again, we have two different things to pay attention to over here. When he went to the fig tree, when he was hungry and he did not find any tree or any fruit over there, he could have paused, or maybe he did pause for a moment and he gave a thought that it is not the season for figs. Even then he went further and he cursed the tree. And the tree withered, which later becomes a beautiful explanation for all of us, for us to learn about faith, when Jesus said, "Tell the mountain and it's going to throw itself," like whatever Jesus said. And the second thing is, Jesus went to the fig tree and he did not find any fruit in it. He did not give a second thought and he cursed the tree. So without giving a second thought, he just went further and cursed the tree. So there are two things that we can learn from here. Either he had the knowledge of it, he gave a pause, he took a pause and he gave a thought that it's not the season for figs, even then he cursed it. Or the other thing is, he did not even take a second thought, he did not even had a second thought and he went further and he cursed the tree. And in both the ways, what we actually learn, have faith. If you believe and do not doubt, that is what is going to happen. But if you apply the same thing in today's time, in the problems that you're facing in life today, God is not going to look at the circumstances or the situations or the people around. If He's willing to help you, if He wants to help you, He will help you. Whether it's a season of fruit, whether it's the season of figs or not, God will help you out. Whether you see a way out or not, God will help you out. He will make a way for you. So irrespective of the season of figs, God went further to search a fig in a fig tree. So irrespective of your problems, circumstances, situations, He is going to make a way out for you. He is going to help you out. In the same way, He might take a small little pause, a little moment which can be called as a waiting period or a testing period for you, and then make a way out for you, and then pull you out of your problems, and then bring the deliverance. It is up to Him what He does. It is up to Him how He's going to proceed. But God promises deliverance, and He's going to deliver you from your problem. Basically, what I want to say over here is God is going to help you out when you are stuck in problems, irrespective of your situation or your circumstances. That is why I brought this fig tree incident to tell you that in spite of the fact that it was not the season for figs, Jesus went further searching for a fig in a fig tree, and He cursed it. That's a different thing, that a different interpretation. We just came out with a different interpretation, that He can give a second thought to it, which can be called as a waiting period, and then pull you out of your problems, which you will end up learning. In the waiting period, you will end up learning so many different things, and it is important and precious in God's eyes. But at the same time, we also learn He may not give a second thought, and He'll just help you out. So basically, there are two different interpretations of it, but the point is that God will help you out irrespective of your situations or circumstances. At the same time, it's very important that you pay attention to the book of Isaiah chapter 41 verse 18, where God says, I will make rivers flow from barren heights and turn desert into pools of water, and I will put the cedar, the acacia, the myrtle and the olive in a desert. So God can turn barren grounds into something very beautiful and something prosperous. God promises all of these things. He says any barren ground can be turned into prosperity. So He will make a way out even when you don't see a way out. He will help you out even when you see there is no way out. Irrespective of your circumstances and irrespective of your situations, God can help you. God can make a way. And the book of Isaiah chapter 42 verse 19 says, I am making way in the wilderness and streams in wasteland. So prosperity in a barren land is very much possible in God's eyes. And that is what Jesus says. What is impossible with man, it is possible with God. So no matter what situation you are stuck in, and if you don't see a way out, God always has a way. He knows how to fix it. He knows how to bring you out, how to deliver you from your problems. And lastly, chapter 42, book of Isaiah, verse 3. It is very important to remember the scripture verse at all moments. Since you are precious and honored in my sight, and because I love you, I will give people in exchange for you and nations in exchange for your life. Do not be afraid, for I am with you. This is a scripture verse which you really need to hold on no matter what your situation is. Because what God is promising you over here, that is what God is going to do for you.